with subs, it's tips, it's everything. That's great. Thank you so much. Now, I think what we should do, all right, let's get this out of the way. This technical stuff that's been going on. Kick has been a mess this week. And I don't know what's causing Kick to have all of these issues, but it seems like there's nothing I can really do about it. I've tried figuring it out, and I don't think that there's anything that I can do to improve the situation, which sucks. I want people who are watching me on Kick to have the best possible experience, okay? I want people who are contributing on Kick to be able to get credit for their contributions as soon as possible. And also, I don't want people to be getting messages or seeing misinformation and saying that I'm live on Kick, and then they go and I'm not there, and they're like, what the hell's going on? All of this stuff is happening this week. And they don't seem to be talking about it, which is weird. I did contact support, so I'll tell you the story now of what's been going on. So first off, all this week, you guys have been supporting me on Kick with subs. And the weird part about this is, half the time when you guys are giving, subs to the channel, I'm not seeing them right away. And what I mean by that is they don't pop up in the chat, or they're not popping up simultaneously in the chat or also in, say, the queue that says, here's what's happening on your stream, so you know what you can shout it out. And it's also not showing up in my revenue area on my Kick dashboard. So if I don't see that end of it, I don't shout it out because I don't know if it actually happened or not. We've had this issue on Kick where we've seen pop-ups coming through saying, oh, someone gifted so many subs, but then they're not there. All right. So it drives me nuts when that happens because I don't want to interrupt the stream with shout outs that aren't real. I don't want to count those towards our goal. Sadly, we have people who like to troll. We know this. On YouTube, we got people using VPNs to give out insanely discounted memberships. And I'm wondering if there's a way that people have found a way to game the system on Kick. Some people have said, who was it? I believe it was, what's his name? Is it Buckwell? Buckwell. So a day or two ago, Buckwell told me that what's happening is, let's say, for example, you have a debit card and the account has $40 in it. Okay. Well, you could still try to do a sub bomb of 10 subs on Kick, which would be $50. But what'll happen is it'll say you gifted 10, but then only the amount that you have for the amount that you can fund with will go through. So he said that he had tried to do a 5 bomb, but he could only afford 4. So actually 4 went through, but it didn't show up. Pop-ups came up, but it didn't show up in my queue. It didn't show up in my revenue. So I don't know what's going on. Then much later in the day, the stream had ended. And then hours later, it popped up in my queue and said, oh, it actually was real. So it's frustrating for me because, as you guys know, I want to give you credit for every piece of contribution that you give me. You guys crowdfund my activity. You're the one reason that I'm able to do this for a living, and I want to give you guys the credit you deserve. And it sucks when something like this breaks and it doesn't look like there's any real way that I can control it. It's a Kick issue. All right. So that's already been going on this week. But then another big issue started happening yesterday that really was bad. Let's talk about that. But first, before we do, I want to give out a shout out to Larry Hondo. Yeah, Larry Hondo did 2 super stickers this morning, both for $2. So let's get Harry up on the leaderboard. I want to give him credit because he's doing these right now, and I want to give credit before I forget. So thank you for that, Larry. So now we're up to $4 of support thanks to Larry. Okay. Oh, it's Lenny. Excuse me. Not Larry. Lenny. I don't know why I said Larry. Lenny Hondo. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, Lenny. Okay. So this has been going on. It's been 3-4 days. This issue with Kick subs has been going on. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, another issue happened. So what is it? So for those who don't know the technical aspects of what I do, I co-stream. All right. I have a stream that I send to YouTube, but then I also have a plugin for OBS. That's Open Broadcast Software, the program I use to stream. And this plugin allows me to clone that stream at a different quality and sends it to Kick at the same time. So if you watch on YouTube, you can watch at 1440p. If you watch on Kick, you can watch at 1080p, which is the maximum that Kick supports, okay? So I've been doing this for months and months and months, all right? Never really had an issue with it. Now, maybe once in a blue moon, a technical issue, but nothing big at all. Always something easy to figure out or fix. So yesterday, I'm co-streaming, okay, to both sites. And we're basically getting to the end of the first stream, the Clear Obscure Expedition 33 stream. Normally what I do is I say, okay, I got to end. So I'll go over here and I'll say, end the YouTube stream, end the Kick stream, and it just all turns off and we're good. Then what I do is I will do all my stuff with uploading videos, and then I check the Kick stream because the Kick stream should have ended, and then I can update the Kick stream with the new title, the new game, so you guys know what's coming up later in the day, and I can put the time that it's going to start, so people who are joining my Kick channel will say, oh, okay, he's going to be playing this game at 6:45 p.m., okay? So I do this right after my first stream ends after like maybe 15 minutes. So I'm doing my normal thing, okay? I'm ending the streams, I'm working, uploading and all of that, and as I'm about to set up the Kick stream for the night stream, the new title and game data, it says, you're still broadcasting. How could I still be broadcasting? OBS isn't even open on my PC. So just for the sake of argument, I opened OBS again. No, it didn't say I was broadcasting. I wasn't broadcasting anywhere. I wasn't sending any data anywhere. But Kick said my stream was still live. But the weird part about it was there was nothing on the screen. It was like blank. Like my offline screen was there, but it said streaming and number of viewers and all of this. And I'm like, well, this is all screwed up. Like, what is going on here? Right? So obviously this is not correct. Now, I didn't know what to do, and I thought maybe it's just a weird bug. Maybe this thing will fix itself. And when I come back for my late stream tonight, it'll be resolved, right? Because sometimes tech issues just resolve themselves, right? So I come back for my late stream of Doom: The Dark Ages, and it still says it's broadcasting. And I said, uh-oh. So this is not good. What's going to happen here, right? So I change the title and everything, and I actually start streaming this time, Doom. The stream resumes. And I'm like, so it's working. People can see the stream. But then as I checked all of my data, what it is, I have a queue. Excuse me. I have a queue for like partner information. And what it said was, you were still broadcasting on the same stream from this morning. There was no new stream. It was the same stream continuing on. And I said, that's not good. What does that mean? What does that entail, right? Because typically what happens is when I end a stream, it'll cut off. It's like, okay, that's the end of the stream automatically. And then it takes like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then it'll update and say, okay, your stream has been validated for the partner program. Here's how long it was. Here's how many viewers you had, and here's what you made on it. Okay? Now the stream was just continuing and not ending. Well, that's not good. What does that mean for the partner program? I don't know what's going on. So about halfway into the Doom: The Dark Ages stream, I said, guys, what I'm going to do is a test. I finished my first hour of gameplay. I said, I split the video for recording. I'm going to stop broadcasting on Kick, and I'm going to start broadcasting again. And I want to see what happens if I do that. Okay? So I stopped broadcasting. I started again. And the weirdest thing happened. Kick now said I was broadcasting 2 streams at once on the same channel. It said that the original stream from earlier in the day was still running, but that I had started a whole new stream as well. Now, on top of that being bizarre, the viewer count for the Kick stream froze at 12 viewers and did not increase for the rest of the night, even though there was definitely more than 12 viewers. Actively at any time, we usually have around 20 to 30 chatters. So you have more than 12 viewers. The chat was moving at the normal rate. So obviously there was some problems going on here, right? I don't know what's happening. So I said, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'll just finish the Doom segment. So we did. We played Doom for 2 hours. And I said, all right, guys, I'm going to go offline here, and we'll see what happens. So I went to go offline, and it said, well, now your stream did end but the original stream from earlier in the day was still going. No, it's not. I'm not broadcasting. Why does it say the stream is still going? To make matters worse, it did finalize the data for the partner program for the second half of the Doom stream, and it said I only had very few viewers, so I made like $1. What? I know I had my usual viewership. So the glitch, the view counter glitch that happened that said 12 viewers, screwed me over. And Kix basically said, we're going to pay you like $1 for the stream. What the hell? All right. So now I'm going real confused. So I then proceeded, as I was filming the daily wrap, to do a couple tests. What I was trying to do is see if I started and stopped the stream, how Kik would react. And also I tried changing the stream key. I thought, hey, maybe if I change my stream key, it'll actually create like a brand new fresh stream in Kik's system and stop broadcasting this other stream. No matter what I did, nothing worked. Okay? Now, the good news is, when I was broadcasting, it did seem like the viewer count did fix itself. So even though that first stream had said, 12 viewers, it jumped and said now, we're like 60, 70 viewers again. So I was like, all right, at least it seems like that'll be fixed. But if everything keeps adding to this existing stream that's never ending, this is going to be a huge problem. All right? So I didn't know what to do. I ended the stream. I said, I tested for like a half an hour. I couldn't get this to stop happening. So finally, I wrote Kik support. Okay? And I'm going to be honest, because you know I'm an honest guy. Kik support didn't help me at all. The people who work at Kik support are line level people who sit probably in a call center style office, and all they do is read form letter responses, or they pass off the information to another department to fix. But for the most part, just like all customer support, all right, Kik support is there to get you off the line and stop bothering them. Like literally, I get the feeling that's probably how they're judged, their criteria. Did you get that customer to stop talking to you in the shortest amount of time? Where we could say, that the system was closed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I contacted the Kik support. I explained the whole situation. At the same time, I also sent one to tech support, because there's two different things you can send logs to. You go to regular support or tech support. So Kik support immediately responds to me like within 5 minutes and is like, well, can you send us screenshots of what you're talking about? Sure. So I sent a screenshot of the screen showing that this stream was still running even though I wasn't broadcasting. Okay? Then I sent a screenshot of my actual Kik dashboard showing that it said I was streaming live and all of that. And I said, I assure you guys, I'm not streaming. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it says I'm streaming when I'm not. Yeah, I know. People are saying my shirt's not even. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe more like that. I don't know. It's like not even or something. Well, you're just going to have to deal with it. All right? I didn't make the shirt. Okay. So anyway, I send these screenshots. So now I'm relaxing with my wife. It's late at night. I was in the office an extra like 40 minutes trying to figure this out, and I couldn't. So already I've wasted a whole lot of time on this, and I didn't get anywhere with it. Okay. So then I said, well, what are we going to do? I'm going to wait for support to get back to me. So I spent some time with my wife, and then as I'm about to go to sleep, I check my email. They'd emailed me back. Okay, so can you now send us screenshots showing us evidence of what you're talking about? I said, that's what I just did. So I came into the office and I took screenshots again. All right. And I sent them different ones, because the thing is, on the mobile app versus the desktop, they look different. It's the same data, but it looks different. So I took a different screenshot. I sent it again. I tried to like step by step explain to them how it works. Like, this is how it works. This is the queue. This is where it shows my archive stream. This is when it says if it's running or if it's done or if it's been validated. This is showing if I'm live or not. And this, you got to talk to them like they're a 4-year-old, because they don't know anything. They literally just sit in an office and have like step-by-step instructions of how to do things. They don't understand the site. So I'm trying to explain to them, here's how it works, right? So then they respond back to me again. Now it's like the middle of the night. And they go, oh, well, we don't see what you're talking about anymore. But We do know that yesterday when you were streaming, there were site-wide issues with viewer counts. The viewer counts were glitched across the entire site, and therefore that's going to affect things. Okay. So I said, what do they mean? I don't understand what they're saying. So I came back in here in the middle of the night and I checked. It had seemed to resolve itself. So finally, it was like ridiculously long. I mean, I had stopped streaming at what, like 10? So this was like maybe like 12, 1 in the morning. So 3+ hours had passed. Now the stream didn't say it was streaming anymore. Okay. But now it had said your stream ended, validated that your stream actually only ran 5 hours rather than like 11, which is what it had said on the page. And you have earned $0 for your stream. Huh? So I wrote back to them and I said, it's great that the stream ended, but it's telling me that I'm not getting any earnings for anything I streamed yesterday. $0. This is obviously not correct. Can you look into it? And they said, oh, no, it's all correct. You know, our viewer data was wrong and your payment is based on viewer data. So because viewer data is glitched, we can't pay you. Now, at the end of the day, it's actually not a big deal. It's 1 day's revenue. And I didn't have a giant stream yesterday where I had thousands of viewers and I was going to make big bucks or anything. You know what I'm saying? But literally they said, it's our problem. We screwed up. We acknowledged that the view counts were wrong yesterday and we had site bugs. But by the way, because of that, we're not paying you. Think about that for a second. Let me think about how well that would hold up in court. Not that it matters. Again, and I actually did respond back and I said, listen, I don't care about the lost day. I really don't. It's not a big deal. I'm actually grateful that you guys are even paying me in the partner program. I don't give a shit that I lost a day. But I need to know that this issue won't happen again. Please forward this to your tech team. And that's where we left it. Now, the entire question here is, I wonder, did the actual issue on my stream get resolved because I also had emailed tech support? Now, they never responded, but maybe someone in tech support looked at it and said, oh, crap, this is a glitch stream, and just ended it on their end, right? And then it's good. But I don't know. I don't know what actually ended the stream because it was running for over like 12 hours, and I couldn't end it. My problem here is I don't know if it's going to happen again. It very well may happen again where it shows that I'm online. I'm not online. There were people that were very confused. They were coming by saying, it says you're live. What are you broadcasting? Wait, there's nothing here. People, I guess I got a notification that I was live and thought, oh, he's still live. So they were joining and there was nothing there. Okay. And I do want to say thank you because last night when I was doing all this technical troubleshooting that went nowhere, Ether335 actually gifted 6 subs to the channel while I was doing the troubleshooting. And then someone did a $20 tip. So thank you guys. I mean, I appreciate you. I guess they were just around and they saw that I was having issues and they kind of felt bad or something. So they tossed some support. And I'm like, well, thanks. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not a normal situation. You didn't have to do that, but it was very nice of them to support the stream when I was having this pain in the ass time last night. Okay. So is there a resolution? Well, as I said, as of right now, okay, it says I have over 60 viewers. It says that I'm broadcasting. It says I'm multi-streaming. It seems that everything is being tracked and working properly from what I can see. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything because at first it looked correct yesterday too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully it will work and we don't have any errors. If we have errors today, as you saw, I put a pinned message in Kick Chat today. Said in advance, you know, I apologize for any technical issues. I hope there's none, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. If people gift subs on Kick, I might not see them and I might not shout them out right away. I might go to end the stream and then it won't end. I don't know. I hope everything works fine, you know? And I mean, it is a bummer that I tried to get help from Kick support and essentially they wouldn't help me. And then they said, oh, by the way, we're also not paying you because of a tech issue on our end. Like, how does that work? Exactly. Right. But again, it's not a big deal. All right. It's not like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I would have been pissed if that happened like during my marathon last week where I was broadcasting all day and I had tons of views and actually made some decent money on that stream, then I would be upset. But in this case, hopefully it's just the one day and now they did fix it. And hopefully this is something that they can fix again. Like if it does happen again, I could write them another support log and they can have the tech team stop the stream or whatever. But I hope so. I hate technical issues like this because it's not in my control. You know me, I'm the kind of guy, I like to control the situation. I like to be sure that everything that I'm doing is, within the confines of what I want to do, when I want to do it. I like having a set schedule. I like having everything working. I don't like having things out of the realm of control. And it drives me nuts. It actually is still bothering me right now that I don't know how to fix it if it happens again. Like, I don't care if the tech glitch happens, but if I have a way to fix it myself, so that way I don't have to worry and rely on others to fix the shit, you know what I mean? But I can't. Like, there's nothing I can do, and I don't even know what's caused it. So, I guess we'll see what happens. All right? Hopefully nothing. Let's find out. Apologies that it was so confusing yesterday, and hopefully we don't have this ongoing issue today. Okay? Cool. In the meantime, Lenny Hondo did 4 more super chats. Let's see. 150, $2, 150, 150. So that's the equivalent of 650 right there. So thank you, Lenny. So that means we're now up to $10 of support, all from Lenny. Thank you, Lenny. Now, that being said, okay? That being said, FYI, yesterday we had lots of support. We're now at 66 out of 70 goals. And yesterday on this very show, we determined that it will be Subway as the next episode of DSP Tries It. Now, people were coming on the stream yesterday asking me, well, what are you going to get from Subway? Well, we're going to do 3 sandwiches. We're going to do tuna. We're going to do some kind of rotisserie chicken, because the last time I had their chicken, it was that disgusting white meat grilled chicken. It was flavorless and gelatinous, and I want to see what their rotisserie chicken is. And we're going to do a third. I don't know if it'll be steak. I don't know if it'll be like lunch meat. A third sandwich. Okay, so 3 sandwiches to try 3 different things. And I'm going to get one of their snacks. They have either this footlong nachos, Doritos nachos, or footlong cookie. I'm going to get one of those. All right? So, obviously, this is going to be interesting. I haven't had Subway in 8 years. I used to, I always rag on Subway because Subway was good back in the day. And then after a while, they got really bad as they basically became a franchised business that spread so far that their quality went way down. Kind of like the McDonald's of the sandwich business when you think about it. So this will be interesting because Subway in the last several years has changed. They now fresh cut their meat in-house, supposedly. Like I said, they have a new chicken. They reformulated their tuna. They supposedly are doing everything different now. Okay? So let's see what happens. And I'm curious when we'll hit the goal. And I'm curious if the food will be any good. Okay? So let's get some support today on stream for the continuation of Doom the Dark Ages and, of course, for the podcast.